Filipina tennis star Alex Eala is expected to compete first in the Strasbourg Open in France this weekend. The 20-year-old Filipina tennis sensation enters the tournament fresh off an impressive round of 32 finish at the Italian Open, where she pushed world number 2 Elena Rybakina
to this Australian Open in a way that I haven't really seen any player do before. Certainly not someone as new on the scene, so making their tournament.
Right now, in a quiet corner of eastern France, something is happening that the tennis world wasn't fully prepared for. And if you've been sleeping on this story, I need you to wake up. Because what's unfolding in Strasbourg is the kind of thing that only comes around once in a generation. A 20-year-old from the Philippines just walked into one of the most prestigious clay court tournaments in Europe. And the man who runs it? Someone who has spent 15 years welcoming Grand Slam champions through these gates, did something he has never done before. He opened the draw wider. For her. Let that land for a second. Not for a former world number 1. Not for a reigning slam champion, for Alexandra Eala, a 20-year-old who has played exactly 5 professional clay court events in her entire career. That decision doesn't get made without a reason. And the reason is bigger than tennis. Denis Naegelen is not a man who trades in gestures. He's Alsatian born and bred, a former professional player himself, someone who grew up on the same red clay that lines every court in this part of France. When this tournament was quietly dying in 2009, when it was about to vanish from the tennis calendar without ceremony, Naegelen refused to let it go. He fought for it through his company, rebuilt it from the ground up, and turned what could have been a forgotten regional event into a legitimate WTA 500 stop. One of the most respected clay court tournaments on the entire women's circuit. For 15 years, he's made Strasbourg a destination, a place where players come to find their rhythm, sharpen their game, and arrive at Roland Garos feeling ready rather than desperate. He understands what this tournament gives players, and he understands what certain players give this tournament. Right back. When Naegelen talks about the energy Alexandra Eala brings, you need to hear it for what it actually is. Not marketing, not a quote from a press release. This is a man who has hosted some of the greatest players in women's tennis, and he's saying he's never quite seen this before. So what is it? What exactly happens when Eala walks into a draw? She doesn't arrive alone. She never does. Behind her, across 12 time zones, scattered across 7,000 islands, an entire country shows up with her. The Philippines, 110 million people, and when one of their own steps onto a WTA court in eastern France, they find a way to be there. These aren't casual fans refreshing a score app. These are people setting alarms for 3 a.m. streaming matches, on cracked phone screens with connections that cut out mid-rally, watching anyway. Every single time. They flood comment sections without trying. They trend her name without a campaign. They turn a Tuesday afternoon in Strasbourg into a national moment back home, naturally, effortlessly, like breathing. People who had never heard of the Strasbourg Open before this week are suddenly searching for it, finding streams, learning the draw. That doesn't happen for most players, even very good ones. That is something else entirely, and Naegelen's organization has watched it happen in real time. The search numbers climbing, the social media engagement multiplying. They understood quickly. Alexandra Eala is not just a player passing through their city, she is an event. But here's where it gets genuinely interesting. Here's the part that makes this more than just a beautiful story about national pride. The tennis itself is extraordinary. Eala is 20 years old and already inside the top 40 in the world. She trained at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain, learning her craft on clay, on the very surface that shaped one of the greatest players the sport has ever produced. She absorbed those lessons young, built her game on that foundation, developed a style built for the slower, grittier, more physical demands of clay court tennis. But there's a gap, an honest one, between learning clay as a junior and competing on it as a professional against the best players on the planet. That gap is real, and Eala has spent this entire clay season trying to close it. First Linz, then Stuttgart, then Madrid. Each stop a new lesson, Each match, another layer added to her understanding of this surface. You could watch her evolve if you were following closely. The way she started constructing points differently, staying in rallies longer, using the slower bounce to set up her forehand, trusting her movement in ways she hadn't trusted it weeks earlier. Then came Rome. The Italian Open is one of the premier clay events in the world, a direct dress rehearsal for Roland Garros. And in Rome, something clicked. Eala reached the third round, beating quality opponents along the way, before running into Elena Rybakina, the world number 2, one of the most powerful players in women's tennis. She lost that match, but she didn't look lost. She didn't look like someone who stumbled into a big moment by accident. She looked like a player who belongs. Still learning, yes, but learning fast. Learning in a way that only the best do. There's a version of that Roman run that breaks a young player's confidence. Instead, it seems to have done the opposite. She walked away from it knowing something she only half believed before. The clay is becoming her surface. She said as much herself, that each professional clay tournament has been its own education. That growing up on clay is one thing, but competing at this level on it is something fundamentally different. There's a clarity in how she talks about her own development that is striking for a 20-year-old. She's not pretending it's been effortless. She's not spinning a story. She's saying, I'm figuring this out. I know I can do well here, and I can't wait to see how far it goes. That honesty, paired with the results she's already producing, that combination is exactly what makes the next 2 weeks so compelling to watch. Because here is the timeline, and when you lay it out, it's almost poetic. The Strasbourg Open runs May 17th through May 23rd. Roland Garros begins May 24th. One single day between the end of one tournament and the start of the other. The clay here in Strasbourg, the French air, the way the ball sits on this particular surface. It's as close to Roland Garros conditions as you can get without actually walking through the gates of Stade Roland Garros. Every match Eala plays, here is a simulation. Every tight rally, every third set, every moment she has to dig deep and find something extra. All of it goes directly into the bank account she'll draw from in Paris. Strasbourg is not a warm-up in the dismissive sense of that word. Strasbourg is the final semester before the most important exam of her season, and she has already earned her place in that exam. Alexandra Eala is in the Roland Garros main draw, not on a wild card, not as a lucky loser who scraped through qualifying on a fortunate day. She qualified on ranking merit. The tennis establishment looked at her results, looked at her consistency, and determined that she belongs among the best 128 women in the world. At 20 years old, in just her 5th career clay court professional event, she has earned the right to compete on Court Philippe Chatrier, on the same courts where Serena Williams, Steffi Graf, and Justine Henin wrote their names into history. But earning a place and knowing how to use it are two different things. Roland Garros demands sharpness, clay court rhythm, the ability to sustain yourself physically through long, grinding rallies when your legs start to question what your mind is asking of them. You cannot walk in cold and expect to perform. You need reps. You need competitive matches on this surface, loading into your muscle memory so that when everything gets hard, and it will get hard, your body already knows what to do. Strasbourg gives her that. Every round she plays here, every opponent she solves, every problem she works through deposits something real into her preparation, and the draw she's walking into is not a gentle one. Madison Keys is here, Leylah Fernandez, Emma Raducanu, who brings her own enormous following and her own hunger, Maria Sakkari, Emma Navarro, Ekaterina Alexandrova. These are not players you coast past. These are experienced professionals who are here for exactly the same reason Eala is here, to get ready for Paris. Every match in this draw will require her best. Every match will push her into the kinds of decisions that only real pressure can teach you how to make. Comfortable wins against weaker opponents would tell her very little right now. What she needs are hard matches. Close matches. Matches where she has to live with the consequences of her choices. Strasbourg will give her all of that without mercy. Now step back for a moment. Look at the whole picture. A 20-year-old from Southeast Asia, a region not historically known for producing top 40 women's tennis players, is in eastern France, preparing to compete against some of the best players alive as direct preparation for a Grand Slam. She carries a fan base that trends her name worldwide from midnight phone screens. She has a tournament director who openly admits that her presence alone has done something for his event that 15 years of careful, dedicated work couldn't fully replicate on its own. She has a ranking that says she has already arrived, and she is only 5 professional clay court tournaments into her career on this surface. The ceiling is genuinely unknown. That's not hype. That's just the honest arithmetic of where she is, how fast she's moving, and how much room there still is above her. The conversation around Filipino athletes in global sport is shifting. And it's shifting because of moments exactly like this one. Every match Alexandra Eala plays at a major event changes something. It changes what a teenage girl in Manila believes is possible for herself. It changes how the tennis world thinks. About talent development in Asia, it quietly reshapes the narrative of who belongs on the biggest stages in this sport. That is not a small thing. That is one of the most important things happening in tennis right now, even if the broader media hasn't fully caught up to it yet. Denis Naegelen has watched champions walk through the gates of his tournament for 15 years. He has seen every kind of talent, every kind of story, every kind of player. And this year, he opened the gates differently, because what Alexandra Eala represents isn't just a gifted young player coming to compete. It's a movement, a shift, a whole country leaning forward in the middle of the night, heart in their throat, watching one of their own stand on the same court as the best players in the world and refuse to back down. Strasbourg is buzzing, right now, in a way it never has before. And Paris is waiting, 8 days away. Red clay and history and everything that comes with it. She's earned this. She's ready for this. And the most exciting part, the part that should keep you watching, is that this is still only the beginning.